What's up guys, Gumzel and welcome back to yet another preview ahead of the 2022 cycling season. Apologies for the non-upload yesterday, but this is 20 previews in 20 days, so we could have 2 previews today to make up for it. But yeah, I had meetings the entire day and I never had time to record. But today we are going to take a look at Israel Premier Tech. Yet another team with a new co-sponsor. They've nabbed the sponsor of Astana. Will it bring them success? Well, I mean, first I think we need to take a look at their 2021 season to evaluate their level. Because in 2021, Israel Startup Nation managed to bring 21 Ws to their tally, coming from Michael Woods mainly, but also Ben Hermans, Alessandro De Marchi, André Greipel, the since retired, Omer Goldstein, Itamar Einhorn, the two Israeli riders of the team, Mats Wirtschmidt, Guillaume Boivin, and Matthias Brendler. That led them to a 10th place in the UCI ranking. It's an interesting team, because if you remove Michael Woods from this lineup, you have a Continental Pro team. Michael Woods has carried them big times, getting results in the Tour de Suisse, Tour de Romandie, Liège, Flèche Wallonne. Anytime there was a one-day race, he'd be here. Anytime there would be an opportunity for them to have a sprint, they would lose it through Michael Woods. That is how Michael's season has gone. Now, sure, he managed to get a few wins here and there. I think he was meant to start the Tour de France as the leader, but in true Michael Woods fashion, he did not capitalize on it because he's not a Grand Tour rider, and I don't understand when the teams will finally understand it. But he did win in Tion 2000, I think, on Romandie. He got, I think, a win on Tour du Var earlier in the season, like in his opening race. But if you remove Michael Woods from that team, genuinely, it's not great. And you've invested a lot of money in the 2021 transfer window to sign someone, in 2020, transfer window, to sign Chris Froome, a proven Grand Tour winner, coming back of a very bad injury, And as much as I love Chris, and trust me, I love Chris with all my heart. Last year was such a bad season, you could have told me he was riding for Barloworld and I would have believed it. You've put all your hopes into one 37-year-old who is injured and is not coming back. But Israel Startup Nation has this reputation of being the official retirement home of cycling. It used to be Trek, it is now Israel. And if we take a look at the riders that left, you've got both André Greipel and Dan Martin leaving because they're retired. Davide Cimolai, who had quite a nice Giro, getting podiums here and there, leaves. Hugo Hofstetter also leaves, which is, I think, a shame. He could have had his card on some races, mainly, like, I think, probably some Flanders Classics, when eventually Seb Van Mark has a puncture or crashes, and then you're losing Alexis Renard and Norman Vatra. So, 2 old riders, 1 experienced rider, 1 good rider, and 2 promising riders. Who did you sign? Well, I mean, you're staying strong to your values of going for the old, and, I mean, you gotta rate it. They've signed Jakob Fuglsang, who had a blank 2021 season, did not do much at all in an Astana team that seemed to be crumbling in the last part in the season. You've also managed to bring Giacomo Nizzolo, and that's huge. You're getting the former European champion who finally got a stage win on the Grand Tour. He's directly replacing Davide Cimolai in your lineup, and I really like it. I think it's a big improvement, just like Fuglsang is a big improvement on Dan Martin in my eyes. You're also getting Simon Clark. That was a very late transfer. You've waited for Quebec Arthurs to officially announce that they will not be re-signing a contract to try and poach someone like Simon Clark. I really appreciate that. He hasn't won last year. I think his last win was 2020 with the Royal Bernard Drôme Classic or something like that. But he can bring you wins, and most of all, I was going to say he's going to bring you experience, but that team doesn't really need experience. But that's also what Hugo is going to bring to the table, the Canadian time trial champion. And you're getting 1 young rider. Come on, get in there. You're bringing Corbin Strong to your lineup. A very, very promising young rider, very talented. And as a matter of fact, he appears to be my ones to watch because there's only one young rider in that team, let's be honest. I mean, I could have gone for like Dash Jones or I think Sebastian Berwick. I think it's one of the two. But I decided to go for Corbin Strong, the 21-year-old from New Zealand. Hasn't won a lot when it comes to road racing. He's won the New Zealand Cycle Classic last year by winning the prologue, I think, and managed to end up first. I think he might have won like some stage maybe on the Tour of Korea when he was ready for St. John's back in the days. But he's made the move to World Tour, and he already has a massive palmarès when it comes to track racing. And we all know that there are a lot of good sprinters that come from track. I mean, you've got the likes of Mark Cavendish, you've got Elia Viviani, Theo Boss back in the days. Brian Cocard is also one rider that came from track cycling. So that's a formation that works. He's won the points race in Berlin 2020. That was the World Championships. He's like New Zealand champion of basically every single track exercise you can have. So it's going to be interesting to see him perform. I don't exactly know which role he'll have in the team, if I'm being honest. But I feel like Corbin Strong could be someone to keep an eye out on some like continental pro races, or maybe try to like find a top 5 on the Vuelta stage or something like that. Overall, I think Israel did well. I've given him 3 stars on the 2021 season. Solely because of Michael Woods. I mean, you got a stage win on the Giro and a top 10, I think, with Dan Martin. You've managed to have Greipel ending his career on a win. Seb Van Marke was disappointing, but I think you still get a top 10 on Paris-Roubaix through Tom van Asbroek. Yeah, like if we're barring the Chris Froome element of the team, who is granted the biggest salary in cycling, maybe just after Tadej Pogačar now, it's not too bad for Israel. I don't know how they managed to get P10 in the UCI ranking. Like, it genuinely do not make sense in my eyes, but fuck it, why not? Transfer-wise, they're the highest team so far, 4.5. I love their transfer window. I think, except Hugo Hofstetter, the window is perfect. They've lost some old wood, did not sign new one, but they replaced everyone with a better version of who they lost, in my eyes. As I said, Fulsang is better than Dan Martin. Chimola is worse than Nizzolo. Simon Clark is probably better than Alexis Renard, if we're being honest. Like, yeah, the only one you're not really replacing is Hugo Hofstetter, and again, some people could see his replacement in Corbin Strong, which I would understand. So, yeah, transfers 4.5. Ambition 2.5 stars. Let's be honest, in 2 years, that team is done. They're going to need to get renewed blood every single year at this point, and that's not, you can't build a team around a 38-year-old. Unless that 38-year-old is Alejandro Valverde, in which case you've got 4 more years, or unless it's LeBron James, and in that case, you're going to win everything. I mean, no. Just no. I know. And kit-wise, I really like it. I know that like the pattern is inspired by an actual like artist shape, or like an artist that made this design. I know people have made jokes on it because it's something related to cycling, something like that. I really like it. I really like it. And overall, it's 13.5 out of 20, 3.5 stars for Israel Premier Tech. Not too bad. Now today is going to be a big day because you'll get a second preview. Obviously, this one will be on time. And we are heading for the second French team that we're going to talk about in this transfer window, or transfer window in this preview season, sorry. It leaves AG2R, la Citroën Mondiale, or Groupama FDJ. I mean, they're both back-to-back in the ranking. The question is, who's first, who's second? That's unless EF, again, releases their kit, but that's going to be like the red thread for the entire season, I think. So we might as well end up to the Tour de France and not see EF's kit by now. But as I said, I'll see you later today for yet another preview. I'll also see you tonight for some stream with a Groupama FDJ Continental team over on Twitch from around 8:30 to 11. So if you want to come through, sorry, do feel free to do so. But I'll see you very, very shortly. My name is Guillaume. Have an amazing day. See ya. Pass me the phone.